Okay, welcome to another video. In this one, we're going to be talking about 1-5, adding and subtracting real numbers. So a couple things you need to know. If there's any words like inverse is the opposite or reverse of something, you might want to put that in the words to know. So the inverse operation of adding is subtracting. The inverse operation of multiplying is dividing. The inverse operation of square rooting is squaring. The inverse operation of squaring is square rooting. So if you don't know what that is, put that in your words to know. Um, Additive inverses have a sum of 0. So you have to think about what could I add to this to make it so it is 0. All right. And the other thing I want you to remember about is the absolute value. Okay. Absolute value is the distance you are from 0 on a number line. So the absolute value of -7 is equal to 7 because it's 7 ticks away from 0. Okay, so real simple, very easy. If you look at this problem, it says, what is the sum? Use a number line. So for this, it's really easy to say 3 plus 5 is 8. But if you think about it, you start at 3, right? And then from 3, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks to the right. So it's 8. When you think about 3 plus a -5, most people see this as 3 minus 5, and I know that that's -2, but if you think about a number line, I start at 3 and I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ticks to the -2 spot. Okay, if I start at -3 plus 5, I get this is actually 2. So if I start at -3, I move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that's where I end up at the 2 spot. -3 plus a -5 is the same as -8. How does that work? You start at -3 and you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left. So that's where -8 comes from. It's really not that difficult. What I like to tell people is if the signs are the same, you add. If the signs are different, you subtract, and you take on the bigger's absolute value. So for this one, the signs are the same, so I can add. That gets me my 8. This one, the signs are different. 3 plus -5, so 3 take away 5 is 2. Which one's got the bigger absolute value? Well, -5 does, so I take on that sign. -3 plus 5, signs are different, so I'm going to subtract. So 3 from 5 is 2. Which one's got the absolute value? Well, the +5 does, so that's why it's 5. These guys, the signs are the same, so -3 and -5 make -8. Not a big deal. So try that philosophy. -12 plus 7, or I'm sorry, you have a got it you have to work on. So try that real quick using the number line. All right. So looking at this one, what is the sum? Here we have -12 plus 7. The signs are different, so I'm going to subtract 12 from 7, and I believe that is 5. And -12 is the bigger absolute value, so I'm going to take that and make that -5. All right. Here we got -18 plus a -2. These guys, you can rewrite it like this. The signs are the same, so add them together, but don't forget to take the sign with you. All right. So you have a got it. Why don't you pause the video, quickly do the got it, and I'll see you back here in about 15 seconds. Subtracting real numbers. Same thing here. With this one, though, is this negative in this negative form. See how there's a minus and a minus? It comes together to make a plus. So you got -8 plus 13. Well, that's 5. I'm going to take on the positive absolute value. All right. -3.5 minus 12.4. You just go ahead and signs are different, so you're going to subtract, and that gets you a -8.9 because -12.4 is the higher absolute value. -9 and +9 added up is 0. This is an example of an additive inverse. Okay, so you have a got it. Why don't you pause the video and do it? All right, problem number 4, scuba diving. A reef explorer dives 25 feet to photograph brain coral, and then rises 16 feet to travel over a ridge before diving 47 more feet to survey the base of the reef. When the diver rises 29 feet to see an underwater cavern, what is the location of the cavern in relation to sea level? So there's a couple ways to think about this. Sea level is 0. All right, so if I go through this and I think about, okay, if I start at 0, diving 25 feet, that's a minus 25, plus rising 16 feet because I went up, plus diving 47 feet, plus 29. So then if I just take it, go ahead and I add all these guys together, I could actually group them like this though. I could go, okay, 0, and I'm going to group 16 and 29 because I can do that. And I got minus 25 and then a minus 47 because I don't have my calculator, so I can do that. So then 16 and 29, that makes 45, right? And then I'm going to add that with this negative 25 and this negative 47 combined to make a negative 72. So I can see that overall, as an end result, I am negative 27 feet below the sea level. All right. So you have got it. You should pause the video and do it. Now that we're looking at it, see if you know these. If you don't understand these words, absolute value, opposites, or additive inverses, because I do, I have these in my words to know. Okay, put these in your words to know. And now that you have them in your words to know, go ahead and see how you feel about adding and subtracting real numbers. Rate yourself. I'm going to give myself a 10 because I'm awesome. All right. I look forward to seeing you in class, and may the force be with you.